Welcome to the Social Changemakers Podcast. I am your host, Khalilah Denney. I am here today with a group of phenomenal men, some young and some old, but we ain't going to tell you who is who, right? We ain't going to talk about it. But we're here today to have a candid conversation about adversity, overcoming adversity, and how, we deal with the challenges of life. And also to talk to you, about some ways that we handle that adversity, some success stories, and all the things that happen in between. So before I move on, I want to introduce or allow my co-hosts to introduce themselves, or should I say my guests to introduce themselves today. Some you know, some you don't. So we're gonna start over here with the young man at the table.
James is my name.
All right.
Raymond, Isaiah, Marco.
All right. And a couple of these young men you've heard from before. You know their stories, you know their testimonies. But today, like I said, what we wanted to start out with is just talking about adversity and how we handle it. So first, I'm just going to open the floor and see who wants to, just share what adversity looks like or means to you guys and how you handle it.
So can you break down adversity into a simpler definition for me?
Sure. I can even give you an example. So for me, I've had, some challenges in the workplace. I've been I used to work for other people where I was a salary employee, and, I wasn't always the best person to get along with, right? Because of just my dynamic. I've always been a hard worker. I've never been, the kind of person that just, sits around and wait for somebody to tell me to do something. I'm going to go at it, right? However, I've also never been the one that was willing to take on nobody else's work, right? And because of that, it made me, I wasn't really a team player at that point. Because I'm willing to go above and beyond until I get to a place where somebody's name is attached to that job and they ain't doing it, but now you want me to do it. I had a problem with that. And because of that, I didn't always fit into the environment that I was in. For me, that's a form of adversity. I had to figure out how do I thrive in an environment where, I'm feeling like somebody else should be doing this instead of me, but I still got to get it done because my boss has now asked me to do it, and not coming off, looking like, I'm being insubordinate because, now I don't want to do it because somebody else is supposed to be doing it, right? You don't even have to say it. Your actions, the way you, talk about it, the way you look at things, now you feel in some kind of way, and it shows in the way you present yourself. So that's one way to describe it. If I had to give another, in my present life as a business owner, as a nonprofit operator, I have, come to a place where we run out of funding. We get to have to let go of, everybody, or I had to, stop paying myself to make sure that all my employees got paid. That was a form of adversity. How did I deal with those challenges? How did I come up out of it? What was the success and what was the failures of the situation? For me, we have, that has actually happened where I had to stop paying myself for about 6 months to make sure that my crew was able to get paid and, feed themselves and take care of their family. Because I had the backing, of my husband, and, we had some security. So for me, it was important that my employees got taken care of, that they were able to take care of their family. And I just had to, tough it out a bit as it relates to my own salary, just to ensure that they were taken care of. God blessed us where we never ever came to a place where we, didn't have the funds that we needed to take care of them. And now we're actually making more in our nonprofit than we ever have before because of the sacrifices that I made. So those are two examples of, I would say, of adversity.
Me personally, I never really took time to dwell on my life and understand the hardships that I went through. But if we saying adversity is where we've been through something that made us strive to be a better person, I would say like me, my family, we moved around a lot. So during those time periods, I always had to shift my environment, try to connect with new people, and being in so many different places, it changed me a lot. Like I have shaped a lot of different personalities, a lot of different mindsets and stuff like that. And I say like hanging around certain groups of people have really put me into certain situations that I knew I should never have been a part of. So I would say like really how I got here would be adversity. Part of a program called the Back on Track program. Basically, I entered the program through being a felon. And so the things that I did, it was something I knew I shouldn't have done. Like I've learned my lessons, but it was basically because I had to protect myself. And the people I was around, the group of men I was around, really was not the right influence for me. And I knew like you gotta surround yourself with the right people. But at the times, like I just look at life like it's fun. I'm just going along with it. I don't really. It is what it is. But I never really suffered true consequences. So you don't really learn until you go through it. And when it put me through this, it really gave me a sit down to really think about my actions and how I could be a better person. And just know my right from, even though I did know my right from wrong, I was just like, I don't care. It ain't nothing gonna happen to me. But
So just going with the flow.
yeah, just going with the flow. But I learned like I really gotta think before I do.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, I think when you say that, it sounds like you came to a moment in your life where you realized you had to hold yourself accountable. Nobody else had to hold you accountable. Maybe the circumstances got you in a position where you said, okay, now I got to make some better choices. And now you really are holding yourself accountable as a man, as you know, as you walk out here in these streets, who you're hanging around, things like that, right?
Definitely.
So, do you feel like before I go there, let me hear what adversity sounds like in you guys' lives. Who wants to go next? So I need to pick a person. Mr. James.
Yeah. The best part at the end of it is when you made a point about holding yourself accountable also. I went through a lot of adversity growing on, just like the same thing with the young man moving around. When my parents died, two grandmothers on my mother's side, father's side, each of them want me and my brothers. So, you know, one day we can be at this school in 15th place and we can be in Maryland at school. So it was a lot of switch up. But also with those feelings and stuff, not having your parents and going through things and people telling you you're not going to be nothing, you're going to be this and that, it can lead to other things. And mine led to drinking, to those issues, to those adversities. And I found out today that we can do anything, we can overcome. I found myself today 8 years clean.
Hey,
sober.
Hey, that's something to celebrate. 8 years?
Yes,
that's what's up.
Yeah. And some people out there that if you watching that didn't have faith in me or anything, you can do it. You can overcome. With the program that she's running, it helped teaches me a lot about what I'm trying to do with my long service. Learning it's a lot to it. It's more than what I thought I was getting into.
Yeah.
I mean, far as the learning part.
Gotcha.
With the plan, you gotta take care and love what you're doing. So I find that as adversity is overcoming, that I can do it. I got to believe in myself. You got to love yourself and believe in yourself, not what other people think or whatever. Don't let that hold you back with that. So yeah. I'm proud.
Awesome. Well, thank you for mentioning the program that you're in. Just to give some, get the audience some idea of what Mr. James is talking about. we offer a landscape management training at the Denney House, and we offer that to transitional age youth, returning citizens, veterans, those populations to come in and, get the certificate in landscape management technician. Mr. James got himself a dose of algebra, and he was feeling a little, like he was back in school again. But the support that he got is what I'm hearing from the Denney House. Made him feel like, he could accomplish anything. So thank you. We're going to say kudos to our instructor who is like the behind the camera today, helping us out, right?
Yes, indeed.
So that in itself is a testament to the kind of man that you are. You've been able to overcome, being, dealing with the challenges of, losing your parents. Still, I can see it in your eyes that it's still, it's heartfelt, and that now you are, doing whatever you can do for yourself to move forward to be successful. You about to start your own, you have started your own landscape company, and the work that we're going to do is going to help you take that to the next level.
Yes, indeed.
So that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. DeMarco, let's talk about it.
One thing that I could really say that opened my eyes to adversity was if you really want to be in a certain spot in your life, you got to isolate yourself. Like, because, all that having fun and trying to keep up, that's going to hurt you than help you. So, and, I've always been a people person, but I'm naturally quiet, you know what I'm saying? You got to bring me on my shell for me to talk to you. So, being isolated, you can learn a lot from yourself and from others. Like, the more you sit back and the more you sit back and look, you can learn a lot more than, keep talking and stuff like that. So that's what adversity taught me, is to learn from his mistakes, basically.
Right.
And just know your time coming, wait your turn. Don't play the next man, because that'll mess your chances up.
Yeah.
So I just feel like consistency. That's another way to beat adversity, is you stay consistent and don't have no distractions, you could get so far you wouldn't even think you could. So that's why I'm at with myself, just trying to build back up, stuff like that.
Sound like you determined. You determined to be successful,
and
you ain't gonna let nothing get in your way.
Yeah.
That's what it sound like.
Can I add a comment to what
For
you
sure.
just said? So you just came over adversity, just
Yeah.
Adversity is like, I'm not
Right. I just
you see
said
what I'm
that.
saying?
I just said that.
That's what we gotta do. We gotta.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, we're gonna go to Mr. Ramon. What's up, man? What's adversity to you?
It seems like the same thing like Marco said, like basically like isolating yourself. Because I feel like that's when you go and become the better person you is.
That's how you handle it.
You sit back. You just sit back and just think. It just like give you a better, like a view of different things, and give you like a better taste to show you what you can do, learn from yourself, learn from others. It's always going to make you be like a better person. I feel like that's the best thing.
Well, I'm gonna ask you directly. Can you give me an example of what adversity looked like in your life?
That's like right now. I wouldn't expect myself to really do weed whacking, cutting the grass, things like that. I feel like that's a little bit nasty, get dirty, but I mean, you a man at the end of the day. But I'm learning. Like while doing that.
So I feel like you also are faced with the challenge of doing all that and trying to go to school.
Yeah.
And managing that and trying to go to work.
Yeah. Time management. That's the best thing. You got to manage your time every day. Make sure you ain't wasting your time. Make sure you learn along the way.
Yeah.
By doing that.
That's what's up. Anybody else got something to say about that?
Yeah, we can add to the fact on what you just said about us coming in here and learning things and everything, and our marvelous supervisor, teacher. I just want to tell, be ready. He's going to make sure you learn what you need to learn. Because it's also dealing with fresh new people. You got to get the feeling of them.
Yeah.
And see if they really care about what you're doing, or they just don't care.
Yeah.
And I found that being here, that your group cares, the teacher cares, because he's not going, if you miss a number or something, he's not going to just let you go past. He's going to take you back to the same, but you'll learn from it. You get used to it. So that's what the process I'm in. Is learning from that, learning with the numbers, and I'm not afraid to admit if I don't know something, I do. But at the same time, you all are here to help us to get through and learn more. So once you figure that out, and like I tell anyone, if you find people in this world that above the job and everything, and they have true feelings or care about what they're doing, you need to keep them in your life. Ain't too many good people, or they just doing it for the money, or well, when you have people that go above and beyond, you need to keep them in your life.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I was just gonna say, right, like, and like, especially me with being a quiet person and staying to myself, like, I really feel where Isaiah was coming from, with like moving from different spots, having to meet new people, and like, that could throw your train of thought off because you're already used to something, and you know, keep moving around like that. It's hard to adapt, basically.
Yeah.
Harder to adapt, but it's possible. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like if you just know that if you here, you able to do, you ain't locked up or in the hospital or dead, you're winning.
That's right. That's right.
You're winning, because a lot of people don't get to make it to see tomorrow.
Yeah. You know, that's definitely one level of success, because like you said, there's so many people who are behind bars, or, you know, don't have the activity of their limbs, and they trying to figure this thing out.
You don't appreciate nothing till it's gone.
Yeah. And it brings me to another, you know, version of adversity that I'm dealing with in my personal life. You know, my husband, the love of my life, is losing his eyesight to the point right now where he's about 95% gone. You know, and that just brings a whole nother level of responsibility onto my plate, because he has always been the one who is just, you know, the battery in my back to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do. He's always supported in a way where he's taken off as much as he possibly can off my plate, so I can, you know, be successful in the work that I do and not have to worry about this at home, or if the kids did this or the kids did that. And he still does, you know, to this day, as much as he possibly can to support and help make sure I'm successful. However, it just looks different now. Now I have to take on a much more active role in my kids' lives, and, you know, and doing the, you know, the responsible things as it relates to paying bills and stuff, because that was what he took care of. So now I have to deal with juggling all of that, juggling with my nonprofit, you know, juggling my for-profit business, and having a life with my friends, and, you know, trying to be successful. So it may not sound like it to some, but for me, that's adversity. That is, you know, a lot that is now being put on my shoulders. So how I deal with it and how it, you know, presents itself as I'm going through it, and how I show up as I'm going through it is important. It's important for me to show up in a way where I'm not overwhelmed. And if I am overwhelmed, having some techniques that I use to help me cope. And one of the things is I try to make sure that the negative comments that I tell myself, the negative things that I tell myself, that I switch them up. Like, for instance, because, oh, this is too much, versus saying this is too much, how can I overcome? How can I figure this out? Versus, oh, I'm overwhelmed, it's too much for me to do, I can't do it. Why aren't you doing it? because that's another thing. Because I'm overwhelmed and I'm looking around and this person over here is not doing much and I'm doing everything. Now I'm finger pointing, versus trying to figure out how, what has God put in me that will allow for me to move forward and to overcome and to do exactly what it is He's called me to do. I truly do believe, that God won't put more on you than you can bear. Right. And if He's given it to me, if He's given us the opportunity, if He takes you to a place, He can take you out of that place. So just having the faith and the understanding and knowing that no matter what I'm going through, there's a brighter side of it. There is a testimony on in front of this trial that I'm going through. So just making sure that I keep that in my mind and that I don't allow myself to tell myself that I can't do this, that it's impossible, or anything like that. So that's one of the ways that I cope with it. That I truly, and I lean on my friends. I call up. I have like-minded friends, people who pray, people who just love to have fun and who wants to see me win.
Definitely do need a great support group.
Yeah.
Can't handle everything by yourself.
Yeah, that is true.
Emotionally, physically, you need some people that's going to uplift you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, with that, having the people, having a good support group and having people who are going to uplift you also are most likely the same people that are going to hold you accountable, right? So what does accountability look like to y'all? These cameras got me sweating, so don't worry about the sweat on my nose, but yeah.
Taking accountability for me look like
owning up to your mistakes.
Owning up to your mistakes, but
can't let pride get in the way of how we feel. Like when we know we wrong, but a lot of people just don't care that they wrong. It's just but you can't look at it like that. You gotta know your mistakes and fix your mistakes before you dig a deeper hole for yourself.
So what about those times when we feel like we didn't do nothing wrong, and somebody come up to you and try to check you, be like, hey, because a lot of times people won't say nothing. They just let it slide. It's those the ones that you don't want around you. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing bad and they like, oh, go ahead, they encouraging it. They ain't your friends. They ain't the ones who love you. They're not your real support system.
How do you discern who's there for you and who's not? Because you feel as though anybody that come in your circle, they got good intentions, or you will hope.
So I like the way you said that, because anybody who come in your circle is not going to have good intentions. Right. You would hope that they would. But for me, the way I discern it is just how they move. You know how you said you kind of sit back and you listen and you think about it? Because a lot of people be talking, but their actions don't always line up. But when the people who are talking, or maybe not talking, and they showing you and they staying with you, like for instance, the way I love my sons. I mean, I'm gonna hold them accountable, right? But they doing something wrong, they might be upset, they throw temper tantrums, things like that. But I still stay on them. I'm not gonna let up, right? It don't even have to be your family. Like my best friend, she called me one day, and we were just talking about an opportunity that she had. Now I know who she is. I know who she is inside and out. And she was like, well, I don't want to do this. They asked me to do it. I don't want to do it. This is not the life I want. Blah, 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 blah. Me, in back of my head, she's scared. She's afraid of the possibilities. She's feeling like she's not enough. That's what I'm hearing her saying. I'm not falling for the, I don't want to do it. So for me, holding her accountable was like sharing with her all the things that I know to be true about who she is, about her character, about how God created her. And by the end of the conversation, she's all for what she needs to do, and she's now being more transparent with herself about the fear and about the reasons why. So having those conversations, with the people you love, and not allowing them to just, say anything and breeze through the conversation. it doesn't always feel good though, right? Me telling you that, oh, you lying to yourself. You know this is what you need to be doing. This is where you're supposed to be. You might not want to hear that. You know what I mean? Say you're dealing with a girl and, you know, one of your boys was like, oh, she ain't the one, bro. She ain't the one. And you liking her so much, but you don't want to really listen to what he got to say. But he cared enough about you to say, slow down with that one. You know what I mean? And give you some reasons why and kind of help you think through it so you can see past her beauty and, you know, the physical and really start thinking about the character and who, you know, how she moving and, you know, what she doing to better herself. Those kind of people, those ones who you trust, right? Who you can say, you can look up to and say that, you know, they about what they, not about what just what they say, but they about that action. Maybe your dad or, you know, another man in your life that is, they gonna check you. And it's because they love you and they want to see you grow. So for me, that's how I look at it. Anybody else want to add? I don't want to be the only one talking.
So your father is the only man that want to see you better than him.
Well, I would say that he would, but I would kind of, there's other men that might want to see you better than him.
Think about it. Like, say if I had a son, I would want him to be way better than what I turned out to be.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, truly and wholeheartedly, like your father is the only one that would tell you, like, look, you messing up here and like do this like this, or like how I forgot what you said, but you was just explaining that. You was just explaining.
Can I put it in order?
Yeah.
Truly, throughout my life, I have made mistakes, had ups and downs. Been incarcerated. I was just incarcerated for 8 years. But before I left the jail system, I came in the jail system in 2015. I went up for my parole hearing and everything. And by me not having no tickets or anything, they were like, you faking the system. You fooling the system.
Really?
Yeah, under those aspects. But I was able to sit into the spot like y'all was talking about, sit back, relax, not being judgmental, but making sure I don't get caught up or bring those 8 years up to 13 or 14. Everybody know when you catch tickets and everything, you decide to take days or whatever. But one thing I learned to love myself and love someone else. I can't stop nobody else from what they're doing or whatever. But like I was telling them, if someone doesn't tell you the right thing to do, they don't care about you. If they see you messing up or whatever, or want to bring you into their madness, they ain't got no love for you. And I appreciate all the brothers that came home and called me, called to ask me. Those are the same ones I told. Because I'm not just telling them for their self, but for me also. You got to choose and judge the circle, because if you whip a person, they're not telling you and giving you that pull up to do the right things in life, to go down and get, you gotta work for it, but they ain't your truth because you end up going down. We need the right people in our life. Because even if someone, because the closest person can tell if you slipping or going forward. Somebody can see you better than you see yourself. Okay, man, you don't know. You know you don't normally do that. Why are you doing that? So we need those great inputs. I used to tell them, I'd be sitting at the table with my newspaper in the morning, my Bible, reading. You can't sit around me if you cussing and all that. I don't, because I got into a phase where I was cussing and everything, but it's very disrespectful. Certain words come out of our mouth and slip, and but at the same time, if you can't have a regular conversation without cussing and it's just straight cussing, what are you saying? So I used to tell them, she ain't no beat. Come on. So, and a lot of guys got a lot of love out there, and a lot of respect from that. And I got guys come home today that call me, see if I'm all right, or, come see me from that. But that's what the Holy Spirit gives me, is that love. And when we have love for ourselves and someone else, you'll get it back tenfold. Just like I came home with nothing. But now I got some lawnmowers, some weed whacking. I got some clientele. I'm also in this great program that I'm learning more and more about gardening. How you got the water system set up.
That's right. The irrigation.
Yeah, the irrigation. The big cherries you got going.
The strawberries.
Did he tell you about the big one out there? That's big enough for 2 people.
I'm glad you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Coming on with nothing and coming up. It's a long process, but I gotta fight for it and work hard. Ain't nobody gonna work hard for something that you want in yourself.
Gotcha. So I just want to make sure that we caught that, fathers out there, your sons need you, they leaning on you. And it sounds like the father is the one that definitely is who's holding you accountable and pulling you up and you using it as a mirror for yourself. So I think there's some other men out there too that might be overlooked, and just let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that for those who don't have father figures, you might have a coach, that you can look up to. You might have an uncle that you can look up to. You may see somebody out here who's being who's successful in doing something that's legal and right and pure. That you can look up to them too, and I'm sure if they're good men, if they're upstanding men, and you reach out to them and say, "Hey, I need a mentor," and if they see you, they probably gonna step to you and say, "Hey, you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that, and you need to, hopefully they're encouraging you as well." I think sometimes, from my experience, because I'm not a man, but from my experience, just on the outside looking in, sometimes we're more disciplined than we are encouraging. Or I say they are more on the discipline side than they are on the encouragement side. And it's a balance. It needs to be a balance there, in my opinion. But
I don't know.
Sure.
Cause I could really relate to that. Like I ain't no disrespectful guy, but it gotta make sense for me to respect you. You know what I'm saying? Like I got respect for everybody, but I didn't have no male figure in my life that I just, like he's doing that the right way. I want to be like him. Like, I ain't never had that. I don't know my father.
Okay.
So it's like everything that I built was self-made. Trial and error, of course.
So what made you make the statement that your father is the only man that want to see you better than him?
Because I look at it like if I had a son. So,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like
gotcha.
The absence, because okay, my bad. I come from a background where like my mother tried to be my mom and my dad. So it's like she couldn't teach me how to be a man. I had to really get hurt and learn how to be a man. So I say that to say like your mother wants to see you win too. Like that's you're her baby. But when a man has a son, like he his own man. You get what I'm saying? He not baby boy no more. And so like I feel like as a man, you will only want to see your son be the best person he could be, better than you. Even if he did fall and mess up, that's what come with it. But you don't let him stay there and think it's okay to be there in that position because he could be better than what he is. So that's why I say like your father is the true person that want to see you better than the whole world. It's better so words just say.
All right, so with that being said, I think one of the things that we want to touch on is what keeps us going. Like, how do we, now that we done faced the adversity, we've got somebody, holding us accountable. I'm sure their words, kind of fuel you to do better, but give me some other examples of what it looks like that, some things that help keep you going, help you keep pushing towards your success and your dreams.
Knowing that it's more to life. Knowing that it's more to life. I can't let one little dull moment set me back for the rest of my life. I'm young. Like I still got a lot of years ahead of me and a lot more to experience. And I know like this ain't gonna be my last failure. It wasn't my first failure. So I'm gonna just keep learning and just keep trying again to make sure that I'm a better person at the end of the day. So
you probably also have more successes than those failures too. So I think sometimes we need to also take a inventory you know, go back and think. We can think about, you know, the lessons that we learned from those failures, because you didn't fail if you didn't give up. You kept going. You try again till you do it right, or till you win. You know, that's a good thing. I think sometimes we forget to take inventory on all the successes we've had, the things that we've done right, because that also helps you understand at the end of the day, helps me understand at the end of the day that though I've done this, I may have done this wrong, but I've done all these other things right, so I have the potential in me to do what it is I need to do and to course correct. Anybody else want to chime in on that? Like what keeps you going? What keeps you moving forward? How about you, Ramon?
My family. I feel like if you're doing something bad and doing something wrong, then you got people in your family who look up to you. So you don't want to lead them the wrong way. You want to lead them the right way. So I feel like that's like kids. Just like kids looking up to older people, looking at like the internet. People want to just promote violence, this, that, and the third, but they ain't really good. They ain't showing like the real outcome of certain things that's really going on behind that, because people are on like a fake image. So I feel like you just gotta show people the right way rather than show them the wrong way.
That's what's up. James, you got something to add to that?
I think for me, myself, it's my spirit, my prayers, my praying. It's when you pray, the blessings will come down. And I have daughters and sons, but they're not babies no more. They grown. But I think about, as a man, I made mistakes in life. I had some good things in life. I just wasn't mature. I got it, but I was like, young dude, you know, thinking I can do this, I got this and that, and we'll lose everything.
Man, what?
It's that keep starting over and over again. And then it's your younger kids, when they're young, they see, oh, daddy like that, daddy all right, but what happens when you gone? And I think about them today as I go on in life, even though they're not babies no more, but I want to be able to leave them something, because all the things I done messed up in the past. They didn't have to go through some of the difficulties that they went through, that their father would have stayed home. But I bless their mothers and thank their mother for being a good parents. Some people don't have that in life. Mom's still running the streets or this and that. But each time that I wasn't there, both mothers picked up the weight and took care of the kids. So I'm thankful for that, but also to be within the position where I'm at, to be able to, if they need dad there. Dad working there. His money is not going to drinking and hanging out with the fellas no more and all that stuff. I don't know how to kick myself in the butt,
Right.
because that would bring me back down. That probably take me back to drinking if I was to kick myself in the butt. I'm not proud of it, but those things also keep in front of me that I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
I can see my mistakes when they coming, and I said, nah, I don't want to do that.
That's right.
I don't want to mess up. I don't want to stop. I don't want to. Since I left my flash pass in the house this morning, I said, shh. But you know what? I just went back and just got on the bus and paid, you know, the subway was cost you today, but so I kept going. It's something I need. So in order to better myself, to better help my kids out, when they need that and that. Now here, like I tell them, that ain't going nowhere. And we can lose things by the economy, or somebody might want to take the house from you. You have to look for another house. But just going out there and blowing everything, no.
So your past kind of helps you, one, stay humble.
Yeah.
And two, stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Because you done learned your lessons,
yes,
right?
Ma'am. Yes,
and now you're not trying to do those things again.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of fuels you to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Anybody else want to speak on that? You all right over there, DeMarco? You done spaced out on us. You good? You good? Well, yeah. So, that That's true for me too. You know, it's good to hear from you guys as men. You know, I'm always you're just wondering, you know, how you guys, you know, do what it is you do, because I know women, we are strong. We've got, you know, a lot on our plate, but I feel like men, black men at that, in America have a lot on y'all plate too. Y'all have got a lot of adversity to have to deal with. But I think if, just like any other, you know, individual, if you've got the right mindset, if you got a mindset of success, failure's not an option. I think you'll be successful. So as we come to this next, you know, topic, I'd like to, you know, just ask you guys, you know, what does it look like? What did it look like for you at your lowest point? And how did you get yourself out of that? So we can possibly, you know, give some hope to someone who's down and out, who may have been, you know, experiencing the same thing, and to see you today at the level of success that you are. And for me, y'all all are successful, every single one of you, because you keep moving, you keep striving, you're doing things to better yourself. Whether it's the dollars you got in your pocket or not, it's really about who you are as an individual, your character, who you are as a man. And I see each and every one of you as men who's moving towards your success. So tell me about what your lowest point in life looked like.
Lost.
Say again?
Say lost. I ain't know what to do. Feel like everything I touched would just crumble. Couldn't do nothing right. So that's where that isolating yourself came into play for me. Cause it's like, you know, you don't want to keep messing up, so you take your time to figure out what you're doing wrong and how to make it better. So you know, if you feeling like how I was, just know, like, as long as you still here, you doing something right.
Mm-hmm. You're waking up for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anybody else want to talk a little bit more about what their lowest point in life was?
Can't really think about the lowest point in my life.
Can't think about it? Because if you think about it, what, it had you going off course, or you just can't imagine it, or I mean, what?
I don't have no point where I never really felt like I was human. I ain't never really felt like a man, so I ain't never suffered like too many losses. Like I already explained, like all the certain things that I've been through. I say like lowest point is probably giving up when I was in high school. I ain't really want to finish high school, and it was failing. I was hanging out more than I was in school. I was not attending classes, skipping school some more. And I guess, like, I don't know what brought me to that. Like, I guess I was just
having fun.
Nah.
No? Okay.
I don't think I was happy. I don't know what it was. I don't know what brought me down, what made me upset, but school, I guess I didn't take school as a priority. So I had to understand that I needed to graduate for my mother. Yeah. So I just tried to do better.
That's what's up.
I think my lowest was when the coronavirus came around.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was locked up. And you know, they separate you.
Mm-hmm. That was hard.
Being in a jail cell all alone. Thinking you're gonna die. You know how the statement was when they first came out, respiratory systems, and I was already a diabetic.
Yeah, because They made us think we all gonna go.
Yeah.
You got any kind of pre-existing conditions,
I'm telling you.
and then just to top it off with being isolated.
All by yourself, you can't call. I mean, I was like, cried, I prayed. Don't let my life end like this.
Yeah.
Without my family. Going out, please give me another chance.
Yeah.
I was at my lowest. The being in that cell. Believe me, I mentioned incarceration because it's not for you. It's not for no one. They take everything from you. You have, who wants people to tell you what to do or what time to eat and all that? You do not need it. You'd rather go out here and try to make it and succeed. Yeah. Get your own money or whatever it is, work for it, or go around with a sign or whatever. But incarceration is not for us. Yeah. It's not, and it's getting worse and worse. I would not, but just on the lowest point was being locked up in that cell by myself. They got me locked up behind about 15 doors. I mean, it felt like that because it was so hard, and it's for another secure reason, but they just put us back there, the ones that had it when it first came out. And I was back there, and I haven't talked to anyone, father my kids or anything, in maybe like, I think 4 years. But thinking that I was going to die. Wow. Without talking to them again or getting another chance to make it. Lord, I'm going to make it. Please let me just. Yeah. So that was at my lowest. And it still feels, I can still feel it. Yeah.
So how did you overcome it? What techniques or what did you use to help you, get out of that situation?
Good question. Like I mentioned earlier, prayer. Yeah. When you pray, blessings come down.
That's true.
Because I believe it or not, 2 days later, I got a letter from my daughter. I got a letter from I got a letter from my daughter.
Take your time.
And I got a letter from my future wife. And it just left me.
Your family helped you through it.
It just left me. Yeah. Okay, I got something. I'm all right. I can make it. I can make it. Yeah. Like I said, previous to that, it was like, I think like 4 years before I even talked to anyone. Yeah. But that was the message the Lord was sending me. That you still have a family out there. Right. Someone still love you. Fight through this.
Yeah. God loves you. Yeah. And He answers when it's time, in the right time, in His season, right? I tell you, so. If I had to share my story, I think while it may have been a while ago, and I know this is the reason why I work so hard, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to feed my family. My lowest was at the age of 18. I'll say, no, I was 17 at the time. I hadn't turned 18 yet. I had my first son and my first child. And we were, just became on our own. I just got to a place where, I was by myself. It was just me and him. And I couldn't feed him. I had $2 to my name and had to go, to KFC at that time. They had the 6 wings for $1. Yeah. And I went to KFC and got us some barbecue wings, and I had to watch him eat those wings. I took a bite out of one, but I had to share that meal with him, and it was hard. And I got to a place where I was doing, things that were beneath me. That, whatever it took to make sure that, I was able to feed him and have a roof over my head. That was the lowest point I've ever been in my life. Yeah. Also, during that same time, I had a guy that I was dating and I was head over heels for, who I thought was head over heels for me. But he wasn't. I found out, the hard way. Went to his house, to see him, talk to his mom, and come to find out there was another young lady there who he had just proposed to. And because I messed up the proposal, he decided to put a gun to my head. and could decided to, threaten me in front of my child. So that was the moment where I just, I had to pray and ask God to protect me, to protect my son. And if he was able to take me out of that situation, that I would follow him. And of course, there was some times where, I kind of fell short of that promise that I made to him. But he's protected me. He protected me then. He was protecting me before then. And he still protects me to this day. But that experience is what keeps me going. It's what keeps me working hard. It's what keeps me telling myself that whatever it is I need in life, I'm going to attain it. I have everything I need within me, and the things that I don't, I can find someone who has it, who has the same vision, the same goals, and want to see the same things that I want to see. And we can work together to make it happen. So I just would tell anybody, if you're feeling like you're at the bottom, there's no place but up now. And you need other people in your life to help you get to where you're going. We're not made to be alone. God created us to be in relationship from day one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be the person who knows it all and who does it all. But you do have to believe in yourself that you're capable of whatever it takes to get the job done. And that you're capable of working with other people to collaborate and be successful. So relationships are important. The family is important. And developing those types of relationships is very important. So I would just say, with that, does anybody else want to share as it relates to that? Maybe some ways that some things you've used to bring you up and take you out of adversity into a triumphant moment? No? Okay, we good? Well, I know that there has been some trials, some tribulations, some adversity, in all of our lives. I feel like there's been a pivotal moment that you've come to as well, that once you've, turned that corner, like everything starts to look up, right? So if you wanted to talk real quick about, what that looks like, how the journey, moving forward, the success, towards your success, what does that look like? And, also I understand how important it is to, just work hard at something. And I feel like each and every one of you are doing that right now. So just what makes you decide to keep pushing, to work hard, and, that pivotal moment that you've come to in your life?
It's a finish line, and you were able to get there as long as you stay consistent. And like I feel as though once you hit your lowest point, like you said, it can't get no lower than that. You know what I mean? But don't get it twisted. Your circumstance can change into something different. So don't get that confused with hitting your lowest point with yourself. Not with say, you lose your car, your house, your job, you know what I'm saying? That's a different type of rock bottom, so. I don't know, I just feel like it's different, it's levels to it. So, what's the name?
Okay. Well, at that, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it up. We are going to pick it back up next week with a different same conversation, maybe the same group, maybe a different group. But I just want to say thank you guys for sharing your testimonies, for being a part of the podcast. We usually end it with a word of wisdom, and I'll take one if anybody has something they want to leave us with before we close it out.
Words of wisdom. Live life to the fullest.
That's right. Live life to the fullest. You heard it here. I couldn't close it any better. Thank you. This is the Social Changemakers Podcast. Once again, if you like this content, subscribe, hit the bell, and leave us a comment. And give us a thumbs up. Until next time, Social Changemakers Podcast signing out.